Well, hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to my TouchCast. This here is a little project I'm doing to introduce myself to my class and my parents and anyone else in the Reiki community who doesn't really know me. So I'll get started right away. First off, this is a TouchCast, so anything that pops up on the screen right over here, you can actually touch it and interact with it. So feel free to pause the video and play around with whatever I put up there. So this video is intended to introduce me and introduce why I became a teacher and what I love about teaching. So here's a little background on Mr. Plein and the meandering path that led me to become a teacher. So it all started back in the day in a little place called Ashland, Oregon. Now Ashland, Oregon was where I was born and raised, and it is a beautiful little town. Now it's located down here in southern Oregon. There it is, and this is what it looks like. Get ready for a beautiful shot. This is Ashland, Oregon in the fall. It was a beautiful place to be raised, a very caring community, and the reason it was the beginning of my path towards becoming a teacher is because I got a great education there, and I had some phenomenal teachers that inspired me and made me want to learn and grow. I remember in third grade I had a teacher named Randy Jensen. She loved to play the guitar and sing songs, and one day during class we were talking about what we wanted to be when we grow up, and all of a sudden teacher popped in my head, and I thought, yeah, that would be fun. And so as I went through middle school and high school, I took some classes dealing with kids and interacting with kids, and then after I graduated from high school, I headed out on my big adventure up to Eugene, Oregon, where I became a duck and started going to school up there. Now, for those of you who know me, you know I'm a huge Duck fan. They're the greatest team. Go Ducks. But not only did I have a good time rooting for the Ducks up there, I also learned a lot about becoming a teacher. Now, before I leave this slide, I want to ask you a question. I'm going to put up a little poll here to get a gauge on what my class is going to be like this year. And the question is, what's your favorite Oregon school? I have University of Oregon, Oregon State, or other, and you can actually just click right on one of these. I'll go ahead and show you how it's done. Go Ducks. Now, after I graduated from the University of Oregon, I moved up to Portland and went to Portland State University and got my master's in teaching. And the funny thing about that year at Portland State is I got a job as a student teacher, or I was a student teacher. They sent me out to a school, and you won't believe the school they sent me to. It was a little place called Reiki Elementary, and I got a job as a student teacher in Mrs. Zemble's class, Doreen Zemble, who's retired, but I also got to be in Miss Smith's class, who some of you might have had last year. So a lot of the things I learned about being a teacher, I learned from growing up in Ashland, going to the University of Oregon, and what I learned from Mrs. Zemble and Miss Smith. Now, I weaseled my way into a job after my student teacher year and got to teach kindergarten for 3 years. And again, I learned so much because I got to teach with Mrs. Jackson. I also got to teach with, her name was Miss Haith back then, but now it's Mrs. Savage. So I got to teach with those two. And then I taught there for 3 years, moved up to third grade, and taught there for 3 years, where I learned a ton from Miss Foley Weintraub. So I got the opportunity to move down to second grade this year, and I am so pumped up. Now, a little bit more about Mr. Plein. Some things you should know about me. First, I love to golf. It's my favorite sport. Second, I love to play the guitar. Third thing, and most important, is I care about and love my family. So here's my most important job I do. I'm a dad. So that's my little boy Ethan. Here's Ethan playing with our dog Tucker. Tucker's a little dachshund. You'll hear a lot about Tucker this year. And then this is my wife Allie. So that kind of gives you a little bit of information about Mr. Plein, and you also learn about how I became a teacher. And I love being a teacher. It's the greatest job in the world. The kids are what make it fun. It's great to be in such a caring, wonderful community like Reiki, and I love watching these kids learn and grow, and I look forward to teaching them everything I can over the next 9 months. Thanks for listening to my introductory video.